Hi, thanks for coming back to Forest Fires. Today I'm going to do my first book tag. I chose the book courtship tag, which was an original tag created by Hi, I Love Books on YouTube. So for the first tag, it was Initial Attraction, a book that you bought because of the cover. For this, I chose Magonia by Maria Davina Headley. This is a gorgeous hardcover book with an iridescent feather on it. And when you lift off the jacket, the book itself is purple. And I don't think you can see it, unfortunately, on camera. Oh, look, now you can. The feather is imprinted there on the hardcover. So I kind of splurged on that one just because it was so very pretty. The next tag is First Impressions, a book that you got because of the summary. I'm excited to share with you Little Bee by Chris Cleave. So I hauled this book recently and I let you know that this is our book club book for May. I'm going to read the blurb on the back. We don't want to tell you what happens in this book. It is a truly special story and we don't want to spoil it. Nevertheless, you need to know enough to buy it. So we will just say this. This is the story of two women. Their lives collide one fateful day, and one of them has to make a terrible choice, the kind of choice we hope you never have to face. 2 years later, they meet again. The story starts there. Once you have read it, you'll want to tell your friends about it. When you do, please don't tell them what happens. The magic is in how the story unfolds. Little Bee by Chris Cleave. The next tag is Sweet Talk, a book with great writing. The Book Thief by Markus Zusak is definitely not what I would call a sweet book, but the writing is absolutely great writing. Then we have First Date, a first book of a series which made you want to pursue the rest of the series. You might disagree, or you might agree. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. This book got me hooked on the series. Right now, I'm almost done with the second book, The Infinite Sea. I've seen the cover art online for the third book, and I want to know how this series is going to conclude. Then, Late Night Phone Calls, a book that kept you up all night long. So really, it was only one night or 2 nights because it's a really short book. But Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. I was so intensely hooked into this world that I had to finish the book. I couldn't walk away from it and find out, like a day or two later how this one concluded. As you saw in my haul, I bought the second book. I've put it aside. I haven't started reading it yet, even though I really want to, because I'm trying to read some books that have been on my shelf a little longer. But this is a late night book read, kind of weird thing that I had to get into. Next is Always on My Mind, a book that you could not stop thinking about. This is We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler. This book really had me thinking and, ruminating on the things that I read in here, not just while I was reading it, but even after I finished the book. And it's very odd. It's very strange. I haven't read anything else by her, but this was very well written, and I'd be curious to read some of her other writing. Then we have Getting Physical, a book which you love the way it feels. For this, I chose We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach, or Wallach. I'm not really sure how you pronounce that. This is one of those matte covers, so it's like really soft and yummy. And it's just black because it's about an asteroid, which is there. And then you've got the characters of the story here. The actual hardcover book itself is nothing special. It's just a black book, but I guess that's kind of special. Some people like the black and white book look, but I love the matte cover, even though it does get really fingerprinted. Next is Meeting the Parents, a book which you would recommend to your friends and family. For that, I have to go with The Disappearing Spoon by Sam Keen. I mentioned this book before in a haul. You can learn so much from this that I would recommend it to anyone, young or old. And you can just read like little sections at a time if you're not really big into reading. And finally, thinking about the future, a book or series that you know you'll reread many times in the future. So I went to one that I have already reread many times, and that is Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. You can tell how many times I've reread this because there's a tear there. And also the covers, separating from the spine. So I am looking to get the Ender's Game series to get a new set. I am not too into the box sets, so if you have any other editions to recommend of Ender's Game, please let me know in the comments below. I challenge you to do this book courtship tag and send me a link so that I can see your video. Thanks for stopping by.